If you were born between 1976 and 1985, there's a good chance you've spent a large part of your life feeling like you don't quite fit into any one box. Too young to fully belong to the analog world. Too old to be completely native in the digital one. People may have called you too serious, too independent, or even hard to read. But what if those traits were never flaws? What if they were actually the result of a very specific psychological environment you grew up in? One that shaped you into someone far more adaptable, aware, and resilient than you realize. Because the truth is, there is a pattern here. And once you see it, a lot about yourself will finally make sense. Number 1, you developed independence earlier than most. Psychology shows that people who grow up during periods of rapid change often learn to rely on themselves faster. And you were raised right in the middle of one of the biggest transitions in modern history. You experienced life before smartphones, before constant connection, which meant you had to figure things out on your own. You learned how to be bored and still function. You learned how to solve problems without instantly searching for answers. You learned how to sit with your thoughts. At times, this may have made you feel distant from others, like you had to carry things alone. But in reality, it built a powerful inner foundation. You're not too independent. You're someone who knows how to stand on your own when it matters. Number 2, you became highly adaptable. Research indicates that people exposed to both stability and disruption early in life develop stronger adaptability skills. Think about it. You saw the world shift from landlines to mobile phones, from physical maps to GPS, from face-to-face communication to digital interaction. And you didn't just witness it, you adjusted to it. While others may struggle with change, you've already lived through multiple waves of it. This is why you can walk into new environments and figure things out faster than most people. You're not all over the place. You're someone who has learned how to evolve. Number 3, you tend to overthink, but for a reason. You might have noticed this about yourself. You replay conversations, you analyze situations deeply, you think about what could go wrong and what could go right, and sometimes it feels exhausting. But psychology shows that overthinking is often linked to heightened awareness and pattern recognition. You grew up in a time where rules were changing, expectations were shifting, and certainty wasn't always guaranteed. So your mind adapted by becoming more observant. Yes, it can lead to self-doubt at times, but it also means you notice details others miss. You're not too much in your head. You're someone who sees layers beneath the surface. Number 4, you value real connection over constant connection. Research suggests that people who experienced life before digital saturation often prioritize depth in relationships. You remember what it felt like to truly be present, to have long conversations without distractions, to build friendships without notifications interrupting every moment. That's why shallow interactions can feel draining to you. You're not antisocial. You just don't find meaning in surface-level connection. You want conversations that matter, people who are real, moments that feel genuine, and that's not a weakness. It's emotional clarity. Number 5, you carry a quiet resilience. Psychology shows that resilience often develops in people who have experienced both support and uncertainty. You weren't handed a perfectly stable world, but you also weren't completely unprepared for it. You had to adjust. You had to figure things out. You had to keep going, even when things didn't make sense. And over time, that built something strong inside you. You may not always talk about it. You may not even recognize it fully, but it's there. You're not just getting by. You're someone who has learned how to endure and grow. And maybe this is the part no one ever told you. You were never in between because you didn't belong anywhere. You were in between because you were bridging two worlds. You understand the past, but you can also navigate the future. You know what it means to slow down, but you can also keep up when things speed up. And that combination is rare. So if parts of your personality have ever felt confusing, if you've ever wondered why you think or feel the way you do, it's not random. It's the result of when you were born and what you lived through, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it might be one of your greatest strengths. If this made you see yourself differently, even just a little, then you're exactly the kind of person this channel was made for. Subscribe for more insights like this, because sometimes understanding yourself is the most powerful thing you can do.